bring it, Paul, with us now. We got a hurricane officially, huh?
We do. You know what? We talked about it at the top of the show. Just go over some numbers. The other hurricane to make landfall in November in Florida was Kate. 1985, November 21st, made landfall up in Mexico Beach as a Cat 2. This will be the second one in November. You may also remember 1985. That was the year that Elena did that big pirouette in the Northeast Gulf around Labor Day and kind of flooded us and flooded the Big Bend. So 1985 was a crazy year. It's like 2022, crazy year. 66 degrees outside now with clouds and rain. I mean, a lot of you have messaged me going, it's kind of cold. I mean, it's really a function of the fact we have a north wind. It is November. And it's raining, so when you look at this setup, the last thing you're thinking, okay, here comes a tropical storm, but, I mean, we have a north wind, it's raining, it's November, it'll be chilly, so the storm now is just reached hurricane status. We're looking at some recon data back in the Weather Center, and even though the visual presentation on satellite today was kind of I mean, not a lot of deep convection, some dry air. You kind of see it here rotating in. So it's fighting some dry air and shear, but the pressure fell enough. And the data coming in from the recon flight certainly confirmed at least 75-mile-an-hour winds. It does not change at all either the forecast for us, the track. If it makes landfall, is it an 80, 85-mile-an-hour storm? The forecast for us is pretty much the same. We'll see showers increasing in coverage tonight. Today, mostly dry this morning. Then as the day moves along, we see some bands show up on Sky Tower, and they're all moving northeast and southwest. The heavy stuff is just about on the coast, just about making it to I-95. This will all move inland overnight, and then tomorrow morning, a lot of this is going to be pretty much over us. I don't think the track really matters all that much because it's kind of a big sloppy system. Just a lot of rain and wind, and I would expect tomorrow morning probably if you don't have to commute, have to be in the roadways, I certainly would not. I mean, we're not talking 90, 100-mile-an-hour winds, but 40, 50, 60 can be messy. And I always say, what can happen on the roads where you see the stoplights kind of swinging? Sometimes they can fall. There's a lot of little hazards that can happen when you're driving around in 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds. Right now, temps are in the 60s and 70s across the peninsula, and the winds are a factor. Wind gusts 33 St. Pete, 41 Daytona, 44 now in Vero. Hurricane Nicole, 75-mile-an-hour storm moving west at 12. Pressure 980. The track does not change simply because the Hurricane Center has classified this as a hurricane. The next track update will be at 10 o'clock tonight. I'm not expecting that track to change much. We got 1 a.m. on the coast, and then we've got 1 p. up over the Big Bend, and any deviation from this track north or south in the cone doesn't really change the weather all that much. Now, the forecasting challenge is going to be late tomorrow into Friday. When the storm's up here, the winds will go west-southwest. There could be some high water, especially Tampa Bay north on our coast. Typically, when storms do this type of track, it's not really known as a track that produces big storm surge flooding on our west coast. The storms really have to go the other way, but there could be some high water, and we'll be watching for that tomorrow night and Friday. Then the storm's gone Friday afternoon. Here's our Fox model showing at breakfast time. The center pretty much smack dab over the state with heavy rain bands around. Several inches of rain are likely. These are all peak wind gusts. These are not sustained winds. So we're going about 30 to 50, gusts to 60. Some higher gust closer to the center, and then, of course, a little less wind, which is good news for our friends down in Northport, Englewood, and Venice, Sarasota County. Some storm surge possible on the track in the Big Bend. About 3 to 5 feet is likely on the East Coast. And rainfall totals, probably a couple of inches, 2, 3, 4 inches, could cause some localized flooding. All of that goes away. I think by this time tomorrow night, when I see you at 6, the weather will be on the improve, especially Tampa Bay South. Windy, rain developing tonight, tomorrow, periods of heavy rain, tropical storm conditions, mid-70s. Better weather on Friday. Another front should go by this weekend on Sunday. And then we talk about another front going by on Wednesday. We'll get through tomorrow, get through that mess, and we're doing okay into the weekend.